This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Operation Theater says, after watching The Last Dance, how much is Tua resembles Michael Jordan's story? Parents that pushed him, competition with his brother. Yeah. Although, again, he's not going to be gambling till 3 a.m. and then going to play a game. That's where, again, this is what makes Michael, and there's a part of me that when we talk about The Last Dance, I want to say something about The Last Dance that is old school thinking, okay? And this is when we see Michael Jordan going out and gambling till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m, and then the next day he puts 40 on your head. I just want young people to know that that's how it's supposed to be, okay? You're supposed to go to sleep early and dedicate yourself to your profession. So you wake up in the morning and you're as sharp as you can when you walk in that courtroom and you got to argue your case. You should go to sleep early so when you wake up in the morning, you're sharp as you can when you got to do that operation, right? And your hands aren't jittery or whatever, all that. You're supposed to go to sleep early and wake up in the morning so you're sharp, so you got to teach your students. You get what I'm saying? Now, if you choose to stay out late, if you choose to do something extra that is going to get in the way, you're not allowed to use it as a crutch or an excuse for why you failed the next day. And we have that attitude in this society a little too much, that we lean on excuses because of our failures. And when you have a responsibility, you must complete your responsibility. And in the old days, if you told anybody, oh, yeah, no, I was out last night, hey, that's not my problem, dude. That's your problem. And what Michael was doing back in those days is how it's supposed to be. It's really not supposed to be special. Okay? If you chose to stay out and if you chose to do something else, then you paid the price, right? Okay? Just like when your parents told you, hey, get to your homework, but you kept working on whatever it was you were doing, playing video games, building a model, talking with your friends, building the clubhouse, whatever crappy other thing you were doing that was entertaining, that you thought your world was going to end if you didn't do it, but then you left your responsibilities, and then the next day your homework is half-assed or not done or only half done, and then you're like making excuses. Well, that was your fault. You know what I mean? And in today's world, it's almost like we get to use these things as a crutch or an excuse. And what Jordan was displaying a lot back in the day was that's your personal responsibility, dude. You got to show up the next day. So if you chose to party and have a hangover and now you can't perform, well, that's your problem. That's where you were irresponsible. So if you chose that path, make sure you still keep up with your responsibilities. And that's where Jordan is as old school as it gets. Now, Tua, you won't have to worry about that part. He's the guy that will go to sleep early to make sure he is sharp the next day. He's not the guy that's going to walk onto the field like the cornerback, Vontae Davis, smelling like alcohol because he was partying the night before. That's the beauty of Tua. You won't see that.
There's some players that you'd worry Miami's going to mess them up.
Right.
We do not have to be worried about Tua being influenced by the city of Miami and South Beach. And
Tua doesn't care about Madonna. He's not going to go to the strip club. He's not going to go to the Cheetah. He's not going to go to Tootsie's. And I'm sorry, Cheetah and Tootsie's, to disappoint you, but that's just not the place he's going to hang out. He's not going to be at the Clevelander till 3 a.m, not social distancing and all that stuff. He's going to be home, dude. And he's going to be prepared, and he's going to kick ass for the Dolphins. There's only one thing we only got to hope that he stays healthy. That's it, man.
That thinking, it falls under the, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. If you're going to get in trouble, you got to take the punishment. If you're going to do something stupid, you got to toughen it up and get through it.
Hey, Rodman would party and then still get you 20 rebounds the next day.
Oh, when they were talking about running the train around the track the first day he came back, and they had to run around the track 4 times to catch up to the crazy bastard.
Because he's old school. That's old school thinking. Old school thinking is, okay, I got to do this, but I'm not going to fail whatever I have to do the next day. That's old school thinking. New school thinking is, I'm going to go party, and then I'm going to oversleep and make all kinds of excuses and not be able to come in. And because I couldn't do my job or this and that or whatever. And it's like, well, you don't think it had anything to do with you partying the night before? Well, no, that's all right. They pay me anyway, and we got plenty more games to go. That's not old school thinking.
I have a twist to throw in.
What's that?
So we're talking about practice. Where does that fall in?
Yeah. It falls with Mr. Iverson, who, by the way, was not old school a lot of times. He would party and then not go to practice and give up and kind of loaf off.
Here's some of those stories when he was down here walking through the hotel lobby at 6 a.m. with 2 girls and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna have a hell of a game here while you're in Miami.
Yeah. Rosendo says, to this day, I wonder if Jordan's gambling habits forced him to retire the first time. No. David Stern is not going to force to retire the moneymaker of the entire league. Okay? He's not going to suspend the greatest player of all time. Think about that. Think about all the things that go on in sports, and they let it all go. And they give these guys 4,000 breaks. You think that the greatest player of all time is not going to get the ultimate break? Come on, man. Come on. That had nothing to do with suspension. The guy's dad died, and he was mentally burned out. Anybody lost a parent? Because I have not recovered from my dad's death, and he died over 20 years ago. He died 27 years ago almost. Okay? In fact, the week that we started this podcast was the anniversary of his death, which was always really nice to have the anniversary of your death as you're getting out of one job to try to figure something else out, which is always really nice to have in your mind. But that's kind of what it is. Okay? So, no, it was not a suspension at all. I saw Kawhi and Tootsie's here. He loves strip joints, that guy. Well, hey, man, to each his own. Michael Jordan loved gambling. Dennis Rodman loved to party. But they all maintain their responsibilities. And, again, that's kind of, the old school style, baby.